Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynic Alex. And today I want to talk about update 3.7 and give you my initial thoughts, experiences, and impressions of the update. We have a lot of people with mixed feelings, we have some misinformation, and then we have a lot of questions to answer. So I want to get through everything succinctly. I'm not going to dive into anything too deeply. I'll do that in the individual videos later on. So let me know in the comments below what you want to see specifically next, most of all so that I can prioritize my next few days worth of content to make sure that I'm getting you the most important stuff out the fastest. As far as probably the most burning question on people's minds, the ultimate chest, it is gone from the game. However, there has not been an updated method for acquiring the bios of Blue Marvel, Ant-Man, and Nova. What I do, however, want to say is regarding my stance on the boycott. I do plan to spend crystals in a small amount and in a small way on my live stream tonight at 7 p.m. So if you want to come and check that out on Twitch, you can. If you want to talk to me about the boycott and you want to talk to me about your opinions, and if you disagree with me, you can absolutely feel free to do so. You can also let me know in the comments below. But I feel as though we have achieved enough of a victory from this. I understand that a lot of people wanted there to be a concrete, easy, and direct way to get these Ultimates bios as soon as this patch was released. We obviously don't have that right now, but I do believe that we are getting it in the future. And so what I want to show you first of all is the wording for the character bios of X-23. X-23 is one of the new characters. You can use rank up tickets on her. She is a native tier 1 character like Ant-Man, like Blue Marvel, and like Nova. When you click on her little X-Gene icon underneath her combat power, you will have this pop-up that says can be acquired from the Shield Labs processor. So that is the only way that the game right now is advertising her availability. And we know that if we go into the lab as of the update and you go over to the processor, we can see the X-Gene potential products, and we can see here we have X-23 bios and the Jackpot bios. However, those are not the only way to get her bios. We know already that we have the X-Gene selectors. If anyone has purchased the X-Men Advancement Pack, it's overpriced, so I don't suggest you purchase it. But here we go, another way to get X-23. In addition, I already have X-23 unlocked, as you guys saw from that image, at 3 stars, and I'm planning to get her up to 6 stars very easily through the event battle, because you get free biometrics just for playing this through the first time. And we'll talk about what that it means for the future of this game mode later on. But what I think it means for now, and why I'm personally satisfied with the boycott, is that I think later event battles are going to include Nova, Ant-Man, and Blue Marvel biometrics. What that means for players who haven't started playing Marvel Future Fight yet and come into the game after this event battle is done, or after Nova's event battle is done, well, tough luck for them. They're going to have to wait for the next round of events to come around and allow them to grind for those characters freely using energy. But I think that this is a great alternative, and they've obviously tried in some way to link X-23 to the Ultimates in a way that would kind of hint to us that they're going to do that. Why they didn't explicitly say it, I don't know. Maybe they haven't had a chance to update it in their kind of product schedule because they have to plan updates out months in advance, or maybe they haven't thought of it and I'm giving them a great idea now that they should definitely absolutely use. But in my eyes, this is how things are going to go. And just to prove my thinking here, not to prove my point because I don't have any facts, these are just my opinions, but the same wording is used for Nova, Ant-Man, and Blue Marvel. It can be acquired from the Shield's lab processor, but it doesn't mention, of course, the chest because it's gone, but it also doesn't mention the event battle because hopefully it will be introduced in the future. Now, as far as the event battle goes, I do have positive and negative things to say about it. I think it's great that we have new content. I think it's great that we have timed content that needs to be done daily, but that's only available for a short amount of time. It does galvanize the community and it gets people motivated to play the game more aggressively and more actively for a set period of time. I like that. I think it's fun to have ups and downs, kind of like how we have Shadowland. You obviously don't play it for the whole week, you play it for a couple of days intensely. Same thing for Alliance Conquest and Alliance Tournaments. I do enjoy that, and I like the fact that they have done that, and I hope that they are consistent with the times, that it's not just here and then it disappears for 5 months and then it pops up again to, you know, promote some movie or some other update. So I hope that they're consistent with these event battles. The second thing that I like about the event battles is the rewards. You get some pretty amazing rewards in terms of not only character bios, but you get like 6-star ISO 8s, you get comic cards, you get tons of gold. I believe that the last chapter has over 3 million gold in rewards. I'm about to complete this stage to show you guys what it looks like, and you get a free 6-star Gwenpool premium, semi-premium card from completing it, which is all attack and HP. So it's a great card. A lot of people are going to say, yeah, this looks a lot like Marvel Contest of Champions, and I would agree with you. I think they could have been a bit more creative with the design for this layout. I think it's too obvious. Additionally, I think the difficulty is too low. I think the first 2 chapters could have been very easy, and they are, but I think chapter 3 and 4 should have been harder. Especially chapter 4 should have been a lot harder than it is. I think most people are going to complain about the requirements, but aside from the requirements, I think all of this could have been tier 2, and I think the last 4 or 5 stages could have been native tier 2 enemies only. You could have had Adam Warlock, Jean Grey, other X-Men, considering that Laura is an X-Men, and it would have been challenging as well as fun for daily content. So I do think that Netmarble missed a golden opportunity to make this a fun grind daily. I do think that people are going to complain that it's kind of boring or tedious, and they have some right to say that because it is quite monotonous for how simple it is. In addition, people are going to complain about the final requirements because it has Wolverine's uniform as a requirement, and it's rare. What I would tell you, if you don't have his uniform but you do want to get Laura's bios, because you get 80 from completing this chapter, and what I would tell you if you want to get the Gwenpool card is wait until Wolverine's uniform goes on sale, because right now it's expensive. It's not on sale. Wait till it goes on sale, buy it, and then grind up the 450 feathers that you need to get it to rare. For anyone saying that it's unfair that we need Wolverine's uniform, where were you when the cinematic battle came out? The cinematic battle has the exact same effects, and no one batted an eyelid. You had to get Loki's uniform to Mythic to get a bad card that nobody wanted, and people still did it. You had to get Hela's uniform to Mythic, or yeah, just to get a CTP of energy that might be bad for the first 10 or 20 rolls. And same thing with Thor and Hulk's uniforms. So we did this already, and everyone was fine with it because we were getting free Mythic premium statted cards. But now all of a sudden people have a problem with it. I don't think so. That's classic hypocrisy. So I don't think it's a really big deal at all, and I think if you look at the cinematic battle, you'll find within yourself a reasonable answer to be found. As far as the pros from the event battle, or as far as the kind of other information that you need to know, you can only complete it once per day. You can use the same characters every single day on it, or in every single chapter, so you don't have to worry about the characters being locked. If you use Wolverine in chapter 1, you can use them in all the other chapters. The 4 chapters each have 8 attacks, so you have in total 8, 16, 24, 32 different battles that you do per day, but the first clear rewards are only given once. So for example, this stage 5 Ultron gives you gold. The next time you play it, it's not going to give you that base gold. When I beat this Mockingbird mission for the first time, I'm going to get this Gwenpool card, but I'm not going to get it again if I play this mission later on another day of the event quest or the event battle for the next 13 days. It's only going to give me the Gwenpool card once, and that's the first clear reward, kind of like Shadowland first clear rewards. And you can see how easy this is. They do have a lot of health, but this is kind of like a stage 1 of Shadowlands type thing. And because you can use the same character repeatedly, it makes it so that you can just steamroll this with any native tier 2. I think any tier 2 character, even probably a tier 1, maybe not a tier 1 Sharon Rogers, but pretty much any tier 2 character can probably do this quite easily. And you can see I can like kind of face roll it with Wolverine. So this first clear reward you're only going to get the very first time, but the second reward is random and you will get it every single time you play. So a couple of people have already said that this kind of makes it so that the X23 bios are random. It does, but the difference between this and any other form of random acquisition like the lab processor is that it only costs you a little bit of time, 3 energy, and you get a lot of other great rewards in addition to the first clear rewards, because you can get 5-star and 6-star cards from the basic rewards that you can get every day. And I've already had members of my alliance confirm that they've gotten 5-star and 6-star cards as basic drops that can drop every day. So I think the item pool for this is quite good. It's not going to be, I think, as wide as the item pool for something like Shadowland Stages 25 to 30. You are going to get some duds like this one for the 2-star ISO, but you're always going to have a chance to get something good. And with so many attempts per day, with 32 attempts, you're bound to get bios at least once for a small amount of energy investment. So this is the last stage here that we can play to collect the first clear rewards, to collect and rank up X23 to 4 stars. For those of you who are wondering how you should approach this if you already have Wolverine's uniform, what I would do is use rank up tickets on X23. Don't use bios if you can. I unfortunately don't have any more rank up tickets for the 3rd star to 4 stars, so I have to use bios. But if you have rank up tickets from 2 all the way up to 6, you should use them to avoid using any of her bios, so that you can use her bios on her gears to get to tier 2 faster. That's the best way to do it. And we got free, a lot of free tickets from some of the recent events. Of course, you guys have seen my kind of famous inventory page with all of these different rank up tickets. I probably should have used a mega rank up ticket on her, but I didn't. So I'm gonna have to go kind of the harder route and see just how many bios we get from this event battle. It'll be exciting to see if I can even tier 2 her at the end of 13 days or not. But basically, I'm going to use the rank up because I don't have any rank up tickets. I only have the mega. We're going to do that to get to 4 stars, and then I'm going to use a rank up ticket that I have saved up from the events, and you can see I have a lot of them, to get her up to 6 stars. And now any additional bios that I get are going to be purely going towards her gears, and then once she gets to gear 20, I can use a plain old regular 6-star or tier 2 ticket that we're given for free once a month. In addition, if you haven't already collected it from the notice tab, there is a free 5-star ticket from the maintenance reward, so that should help you with X23. And we are getting a 7-day login event coming in a couple of days, or maybe it's coming as of this video. And that 7-day login event will give you a 6-star ticket that you can then also use on X23. So we're pretty well positioned to basically get a free 6-star X23 from this update within the first couple of days, which is nice. And then the only other new character from this update is Adam Warlock. And again, a lot of people are going to complain, 6,600 crystals. The only thing I'm going to say about Adam Warlock, because I haven't played him yet and I haven't seen any game content, is if you want the character, you can pay the crystals for him. If you don't want the character, you don't have to pay the crystals for him. It's that simple. There is no character in this game that you can't get for free that you need for any specific game mode. There is no game mode that requires a character that you must pay for. So, with that being said, the Adam Warlock fiasco is over. I've just ended it with that one statement. I want to finally cover some of the featured shop items before I talk briefly about the uniforms. The X23 pack is pretty terrible as far as the crystal cost, so I wouldn't suggest this unless you're really depleted or you just started the game and you have to have X23. If you have a little bit of patience, you'll get her in due time, I guarantee. So ignore that one. The X-Men Advancement Pack is also pretty terrible. I would ignore this in the store altogether. The 6-star selector, however, is very, very good. For about $2.30 Canadian, you get a free 6-star character. This is a great invitation for new players who just started or intermediate players who want to boost up their roster for something like Shadowland for World Boss. You can get a free Robbie Reyes, a free Mantis, a free Titania. There's a lot of really good choices, a free Heimdall. So it's really, really nice that they put that in the store, and it's great for new players. Obviously, I have no use for it, but just keep in mind, you can't pick X-Men, you can't pick Ultimates, you can't pick any of the Bio Sub characters, you can't pick any of the A-Force or Bio Shifter characters like Vulture, and of course, you can't pick X23 or any of the native Tier 2 characters. Finally, I want to give you my thoughts on the 3 new uniforms. I do plan on buying all of them during my live stream, so if you want to see live highlights of those uniforms, you can hit me up on Twitch. I think that the best one out of the 3, both in terms of its appearance and in terms of its skills and value, is Satana. It costs $750, so it's a cheaper one, and it gives her amazing heal, it gives her a crazy 5th skill, and it changes her around to be a lot more of a threat. She's got a lot more AoE, a lot more healing, in addition to the change to her passive. She has a heal now on Demonic Temptress, which heals a lot of HP in a hurry, and you can basically spam that skill, so it's really, really nice. I think it's going to make Satana a better character. It's not going to put her anywhere near the meta, but it's going to make her a lot more highlight worthy for things like Shadowland, World Boss, maybe even uniform or universal hero in place of someone like Thor or Odin. The second best one, I think, is Punisher's uniform. This is the more expensive one. I think they could have gone a little bit further with some of the skills. I like the creativity in them. I do think that the skills look pretty cool, but I think there's just not enough effects. He's got just one iframe, he's got one guard hit, and he's got some energy damage. He does have a cancelable first skill that still gives you the effect, kind of like a mini Lincoln ball from his fourth skill, which is cool, and I like the uniform bonus of 15%, but I think they could have gone just a little bit further. However, much like Zatanna, I think this is going to make Punisher a much more highlight-worthy hero, and I can't wait to see people do stuff like killing Apocalypse, killing Infinity Thanos in like under a minute with this new decked out Punisher that was not possible before with the old version. Finally, we come to Falcon. I'm a little bit disappointed with this uniform. Netmarble could have definitely gone further. A lot of people are comparing this to like the hero version of Vulture, but it's definitely not that good. He only has 2 iframes, and one of them has a very long windup, so he can be guard broken or interrupted before his iframe. His 5th skill still has the kind of intermittent iframe where there's little gaps in between where the Shadowland enemies will hit you in between your 5th skill, so I really dislike that, and I think they could have just patched that up so easily and made it a full iframe, and I would have made the character a lot better. In addition, I've already mentioned I think the uniform bonus is crap. If you had to spend crystals on just one uniform, I would definitely go Zatanna number 1. Then if you have enough for 2, I would consider Punisher. I probably wouldn't purchase Falcon's uniform unless you're a diehard Falcon fan or you just have to collect all of the new uniforms. It just doesn't seem to be worth it to me, unfortunately. But we may see some cool highlights from Falcon and some of his diehard, game heroes and players. So those are my thoughts from the latest update. I'm surprisingly optimistic about the game going forward. I do think Netmarble needs to focus more on game modes, as I've mentioned before, and I do think they need to make event battles a consistent thing that happens with very little downtime. We shouldn't hopefully see more than a week between an event battle ending and a new one starting up. So they're going to have to get creative with some of the bios, A-Force, ultimates, stuff like that. And in addition to that, I think they need to put a little bit more effort into the actual difficulty of it at the later stages so that it feels more smooth. It feels just basically way too easy, and even when you get to the very end, it's a face roll fiesta, which means that it's only challenging for new and intermediate players, and it basically totally leaves the veteran players kind of snoring at their controllers and at their phones and at their tablets. So let me know what you think of the update. Let me know what your thoughts are on my position on the boycott and how you're going to hit me up on Twitch. Subscribe if you want to support me and you enjoy the content, and of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.